The passage of Cyclone Garance through Reunion Island has left a trail of destruction, chaos, and suffering. From the early hours of Friday, February 28, 2025, the island's inhabitants witnessed nature's fury at its peak. With winds surpassing 230 kilometers per hour and torrential rains reaching extraordinary levels. The island was plunged into an unprecedented climatic crisis. Since Wednesday, February 26th, meteorological services had issued an orange alert for the imminent arrival of Tropical Storm Garance. It was estimated that the cyclone was about 370 kilometers northwest of the island, moving eastward at a speed of 9 kilometers per hour. On Thursday, the alert level was raised to red, leading to the closure of schools, daycare centers, and other public spaces. The population was urged to limit their movements and prepare for a drastic worsening of weather conditions. As the hours passed, the cyclone rapidly intensified, reaching Category 3 on the cyclone scale. Meteorologists warned that its sustained winds averaged 165 kilometers per hour, with gusts potentially exceeding 230 kilometers per hour near its center. It was expected to pass within 50 kilometers of the coast, or even directly over the island between Thursday night and Friday morning. On Friday morning, Cyclone Garance struck Reunion Island with full force. The most affected areas were the north and east of the island, where hurricane-force winds and extraordinary rainfall were recorded. In just 6 hours, the locality of Comarcan accumulated 376 millimeters of rain, of which 186 millimeters fell in just 1 hour. In other localities like Orr and Salis, rainfall exceeded 200 millimeters. The eye of the cyclone crossed the island from north to south, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. In the capital, St. Denis, streets were flooded and vehicles submerged underwater. The violence of the wind ripped roofs off houses and businesses, shattered windows and doors, and scattered debris throughout the city. In the locality of Plaine de Palmists, a mother and her 4-year-old daughter were rescued from the rubble of their home, which collapsed under the force of the cyclone. In a matter of seconds, the roof of our house flew off. "We have nothing left. We've lost everything," the mother recounted, who was also pregnant and feared for her family's lives. In Bras-Fusel, a family consisting of a father, his wife, and their 3 children took refuge in a shelter after losing their home. "I tried to hold the roof down, but it was impossible." "I knew we had to run or the cyclone would drag us away. We traveled 30 minutes in a fierce storm to get here," the father recounted, still shaken by the experience. The cyclone's ravages were not limited to homes. The island's infrastructure suffered severe damage, with approximately 145,000 households without electricity and over 82,000 people without access to drinking water. Additionally, 39,000 customers were left without internet service due to the collapse of 54 telecommunications towers. Emergency services mobilized immediately to assist the population and assess the damages. A total of 128 shelters were set up, housing 675 people, while another 54 were evacuated preventively due to the risk of floods and landslides. St. Denis Hospital was one of the most affected buildings, with severe structural damage complicating emergency care. The hospital's medical director confirmed the situation was critical and that medical staff were working with limited resources. Cyclone Garance has become one of the most destructive weather phenomena in the recent history of Reunion Island, comparable to Cyclone Bajiza in January 2014 and Cyclone Belal, which hit the region in January 2024. On those occasions, people lost their lives and damages were estimated at over 100 million euros. Despite the severity of the event, local and national authorities quickly mobilized to initiate rescue and reconstruction efforts. Reinforcements were sent from France, including 100 civil security and disaster specialist firefighters. Additionally, reconnaissance teams were deployed to assess the magnitude of the disaster and coordinate humanitarian assistance. The storm left behind a desolate landscape. Uprooted trees, fallen power poles, and impassable roads made it difficult to move around the island. Many areas were completely cut off, and residents had to cope with the lack of basic services. The French government assured immediate aid to those affected and committed to reconstructing the island as soon as possible. President Emmanuel Macron expressed solidarity with the inhabitants of Reunion and urged them to follow authorities' instructions to avoid further risks. Cyclone Garance not only caused devastating material damage, but also left a deep trauma among the population. Many families lost everything and now face an uncertain future. However, the community's resilience became evident, with neighbors helping each other and volunteers working tirelessly to restore normalcy. Meteorological forecasts indicated that the cyclone would move southwest, gradually weakening. However, meteorologists warned that the island would continue to experience adverse conditions, with winds up to 70 kilometers per hour and dangerous swells on the coasts. Climate experts pointed out that the frequency and intensity of cyclones in the Indian Ocean have increased in recent years due to climate change. It has become imperative to improve early warning systems and strengthen infrastructure to mitigate the impact of these extreme phenomena.
Le pire moment, je pense.
For the inhabitants of Reunion Island, Cyclone Garance will be remembered as a catastrophic event, a testament to the relentless power of nature and the importance of disaster preparedness. As the island begins its recovery process, the challenge will be to rebuild not only the physical structures, but also the hope and security of its inhabitants. The disaster has left an indelible mark on the island's history, but it has also highlighted the solidarity and courage of its people. Amid the devastation, the community comes together to face the difficult days ahead, with the certainty that with effort and determination, reunion will rise again.